Good morning. What's going on? How are we doing today? All right, let's have a quick little chat. Okay. Um, First thing I want to talk to you about is a couple things about things that are yours. That these are things that are yours. They belong to you, nobody else, and you have to choose to give them away. All right. And I made a little list here. All right, and here's the list. The first thing on the list of things that are yours that you have to choose to give away is your time. All right. And y'all are going to see where I'm going here in a second. Just stay with me. But the first thing on this list is your time. This is yours. You have to choose to give it away. The second thing is your ideas, right? They're yours. They're in your head until you speak them out loud or you tell somebody about them. They're yours, right? The third thing on this list is your sanity, right? Your sanity. What's going on in your life? Who are you allowing inside your circle? Who are you allowing access to you? All of these things are going to determine your level of sanity, right? So your sanity, that's the third thing on the list. The fourth thing on the list is your peace. What are you allowing yourself to go through and deal with that you don't have to? That's your peace. Like that is that's your peace. What are you allowing to stress you out? All right. And that belongs to you. It belongs to you, nobody else, right? Now, the last thing I have on this list is access. Access to you is very important because who you allow access to you is going to determine a lot of things. Like they say, ships don't sink because the water doesn't surround them. They sink because of the water that they allow to get inside of them. All right. So who you allow access to you is a big deal. And Terry Crews said it the best way. He said one person can change your whole future for the better or the worse. Let that sink in. Now, the reason that I wrote all of these things down and the thing that we're going to talk about here right quick is your time. The reason that I wrote these things down is because I want people to realize that you control these things. They are yours. They're nobody else's. And the thing we're going to talk about right now is your time. Now, me and the TPSGL was having a conversation about time, and one of the things we talked about is that time is a finite resource. All right, it's a finite resource, and the reason that it's finite is because none of us know how much time we have, and none of us know when it's going to end. So it's a very precious resource. Now we have made the decision to, give it to people and allow people to use it and things like that. But there comes a point where you have to look at your time and you have to say, is this the best use of my time? Is this person or are these people or organizations, you know, are they valuing this finite resource that I'm giving to them? Right. And if the answer is no, then maybe you got to do some soul searching. Maybe you got to do some things to determine what you're going to do with that time. But this, time, like I said, time is a finite resource. We don't know how much we have and we don't know when it's going to end. So we have to be very particular with what we do with our time. Now, when the way I see it is this, like everybody heard about, Jack and the Beanstalk, the golden goose, all that stuff right there. We're gonna look at the golden goose right now. Now, the way I see it is this: you are the golden goose. You're the golden goose because the golden goose was important because it laid golden eggs, right? And these golden eggs were so valuable. So it was so important. But what people didn't realize was that the goose was actually important. The goose was more important than the golden eggs because look, once that goose laid those eggs, the eggs were there. You had them. But at some point they were going to be traded and you had no more because if the goose was gone, you only got the eggs left. And that's why I say you are the golden goose. You're the golden goose. You are the golden goose because you have the time. You have to allow people access to you to use your time. So you're the golden goose. You're absolutely the golden goose. And the reason that I say that is because sometimes you got to remove that golden goose or you got to remove yourself from a situation. That time is yours. So you can't take it back because once you give it, it's gone. You can't take it back. But what you can do is you can reallocate it. You can decide who's going to get those golden eggs in the future. That's what you can do, right? You can reallocate it, you can redirect it, you can do all that. Now, look, the last thing I'm going to talk to you about is the definition of possession. Now, The definition of possession is this: the state of having, owning, or controlling something. All of those things that I named on that list are your possessions. Now, you may not feel like it at some time that they belong to you, but they absolutely do. They absolutely do. All of those things belong to you. And when you find yourself in a situation where you feel like you're not in control or you can't control what's going on, think about these things right here, and I'm gonna list them again. Your time, your ideas, your sanity, your peace, and your access. You absolutely control all of that. And that just like that, the only thing it takes you doing with those things that we just listed is just deciding to do something else. Nobody can make you have, I mean, nobody can force you to give access. I mean, nobody can force you to give them access to you. Nobody can force you to give them your time. Nobody can force you to not be in peace. Nobody can force you to not have your sanity. These are all things that you 100% control. So today, what I want you to do is I want you to go back and I want you to look at these things that we listed down and I want you to think about it. Am I giving people my time that don't deserve it? They don't value my time? Am I giving people access to me that don't deserve it? They're not good people to be in my life. They're not doing anything but disturbing my peace and destroying my sanity. All right. So think about those things today. Hopefully, this was good for somebody and somebody heard what they needed to hear. But just remember those things. You have complete access to those things. Those are your possessions, and you have to choose to give them away. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna wrap this up. Look, you are important, you matter, and don't let anybody make you feel as if you're insignificant. If you do, get into the inbox, and we have people here to help you out. The NCOPD Live team is here to help you. Let's Talk About It is here to help you. And the Woman's Intentional Podcast is here to help you. All right. Look, life is a choice. I'm depending on you to choose well. Odds here signing out. I'll be talking to you soon.